Welcome back to Talkin Sports with Ryan and Corey. I am Tim Krisnick filling in for Corey Bender tonight, and sitting next to Ryan Hartson, and we're going into the matchups for this Week 17 in the NFL. Gonna go through, give a little breakdown, and come back through a second time and pick all the games. So let's get started, shall we, Ryan?
Yeah, brother.
All right, the Washington Redskins at the Philadelphia Eagles.
This is a game that is relatively meaningless for playoff picture and home field advantage and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But Mike Vick got whacked in the Redskins game that was played in Washington, and they had a really hard time with it, and the Redskins ended up beating them. It's the only division game they lost all year. Mike Vick is healthier. They're energized, they're excited, and they're getting ready for next year. I think the Eagles are going to come back and have a pretty big year next year because they're so disappointed with how this dream team turned out. And I knew it was going to mess up because, just there were too many moving parts, and when you're trying to put pieces in place that late before the season starts, there are going to be issues because football is about chemistry almost as much as it is about talent. Yeah. So I think with another year to kind of gel, they're going to be ready to go next year, and this will kind of propel them into the offseason. Andy Reid probably holding on to his job. I think Vic and the Eagles are probably going to drop 40 on the hapless Washington Redskins.
Wow.
I can't believe Shanahan's going to get another year, too.
Yeah.
He's just out of gas. He got lucky with John Elway, apparently, because look what he's done since Elway. Like 4 playoff appearances. That's it. Come on, dude.
Yep. All right, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Atlanta Falcons.
Falcons are mad, and they need to make the playoffs, and they're pissed off that they have not played well the last few weeks, so they got to get it back together. They scored 40 points in Tampa. I could have sworn that they played in Atlanta the last time these two teams played. Maybe I'm just an idiot. I don't know. But this is another one that's kind of just a no-brainer. Look at the line, too. They're 10.5-point favorites. Mm-hmm. Atlanta, it's going to be way more than that. Atlanta's going to go. The Bucs are horrible. Raheem Morris probably is going to get another year because he's such a nice guy. But just having a hard time this year.
My poor Buccaneers picked them to go 11-5. Look what happened. Oh, well. All right, the San Francisco 49ers at the St. Louis Rams.
This is the battle of field goals. Two of the worst red zone teams in the league in terms of scoring touchdowns. Hell, the Rams can't even get into the red zone. They're such a bad football team. San Francisco is going to be all over them, but in terms of the way 49ers, in terms of the way they play offense, it's going to be more like 23-3 than 43-3. So San Francisco, but it's going to be a little closer than expected just because the Niners are a horrible offensive football team.
All right, the Chicago Bears at the Minnesota Vikings.
I don't really care. No Adrian Peterson, ACL, done.
Yep.
No Jay Cutler, no Matt Forte, no nobody. They're just out of luck. And this is a horrible game. It's the worst game on the schedule.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you who's going to win. And I don't know why. This one might actually end in a tie. Scoreless tie after 4 quarters and overtime. Or it could be a shootout. This might end up being one of the more entertaining games of the year. Remember when Cleveland and Detroit played a shootout? 2 worst teams in the league, and they played like a 45-35 ball game. It was unbelievably entertaining.
Sometimes that happens, right?
Sometimes.
Yep. The Detroit Lions at the Green Bay Packers.
This one doesn't matter either. Packers have cinched up home field. Aaron Rodgers may or may not play. Mike McCarthy said he wants to play all 3 quarterbacks this weekend, so you're going to see a little Aaron Rodgers, a little Matt Flynn, and then you're going to see Graham Harrell from Texas Tech University. I just want to point out, I watched this kid play in college. He was throwing passes to the great Michael Crabtree, wide receiver, now playing for those San Francisco 49ers. They were excellent. He was phenomenal. He could throw. I think he threw for like 600 yards in a game one time. He's a fantastic quarterback. It's a shame he didn't get an opportunity to be drafted in the first round. He ended up in the Canadian Football League for a while, and now he's the 3rd quarterback on the defending world champion Green Bay Packers. God love him.
Congratulations.
And the Lions, they're playing for seeding a little bit. It'll be interesting to see how the Packers play this one at home. It's intriguing because it's irrelevant. Is that valid?
I guess.
Okay.
Stranger things have happened. The Dallas Cowboys at the New York Giants.
This is just, again, it's a pick'em game. Both teams are not very good, but the winner gets to make the playoffs. I like Romo more than I like Eli. This is just going to be a good football game. The last one was a classic with the Giants coming all the way back in the fourth quarter, so I expect something similar to that.
The Carolina Panthers at the New Orleans Saints.
Saints are really good. Drew Brees is really good. Cam Newton is really good. Hopefully these teams play, and they play hard. So then you can watch just to see Cam Newton and Drew Brees go at it. That's going to be a great division matchup for years to come.
Absolutely.
The next 5 years, you're going to have 45 to 41 games coming out of that rival. There's going to be a legitimate rivalry there because the two best quarterbacks in the division. But I think right now Cam Newton's going to end up being better than Matt Ryan.
Wow.
Because Matt Ryan, massively overrated in my opinion. And Cam Newton, the arrow is pointed straight up. And hopefully Drew Brees isn't rested in this one so we can have a little fun on Sunday afternoon.
Right. The Tennessee Titans at the Houston Texans.
This one doesn't matter. Texans made the playoffs, but they're not going anywhere because they lost their quarterback, so they'll get bounced in the first round. Tennessee is horrible. I know they might be 9-7, but they're a horrible football team because they've played the easiest schedule known to mankind, and it's a stupid and irrelevant game, and I don't know why anyone should care. Even Titans and Texans fans shouldn't care. Seriously.
All right, the Baltimore Ravens at Cincinnati Bengals.
Ravens know how to win the big games. This is a big game, and they need to win this big game. And the Cincinnati Bengals don't know how to beat the good teams. And that will be evident in this one. The Steelers blew them out the last time they played the Bengals, and I expect the Ravens to follow suit, as those two teams, Ravens and Steelers, are mirror images of each other.
The Pittsburgh Steelers at Cleveland Browns.
Again, Steelers, Ben might play, he might not, we're not sure. The Browns are horrible, and these teams are going to go at it. It's a nice little rivalry. Steelers shouldn't have any problems, even if it's the great Charlie Batch starting at quarterback.
Indianapolis Colts at Jacksonville Jaguars.
Colts might win 3 in a row after going 0-13. Jaguars are really bad. They're one of the worst teams in football by a mile. And the Colts are playing better. They are playing to not suck for luck, which to me doesn't make any sense because I think you should draft Andrew Luck to replace Peyton Manning, and that would be awesome. But instead, you messed it up.
It's about respect.
Yeah.
3 and 13.
Instead of 0-16.
FT Dubs.
What's the difference? 0-16 and 3-13. What's the difference? Who cares?
One of them you're not getting Andrew Luck, so.
Yeah. Right.
New York Jets at Miami Dolphins.
The Jets can win with a win and a lot of help. The Dolphins are favored in this game. Shocking. Sanchez is horrible. He is horrible. If he plays another bad year next year, he'll end up being a bust. And if they don't make the playoffs again next year, Rex Ryan will be gone. And this little cute Ryan experiment will be done. He's the Ozzie Guillen of the NFL, and I believe his players just are tired of listening to the white noise that he spews from his big fat mouth. And I'm tired of the Jets. I'm glad they're going to be out of the playoffs, but I don't think the Dolphins are going to beat them. Dolphins aren't as good as people think they are. They're a good football team. No, they're not. Come on, dude. Get real.
Can I smell them?
Yes.
The Buffalo Bills.
It's the 1-year anniversary of that.
Yeah, 1-year anniversary of the Rex Ryan foot fetish controversy. The Buffalo Bills at New England Patriots.
Tom Brady is really good, and the Buffalo Bills are not. Let's move on.
Hey, I have respect for the Bills, man.
I don't give a shit.
San Diego Chargers at the Oakland Raiders.
It's sentences like that why no one listens to our show anymore.
Hey! Respect for the small market teams.
I know, but my lack of respect for the small market teams is why no one listens to the show anymore.
That's why I respect the small market teams, to make up for your lack of respect for small market teams.
This is why you have to do the show more often, so you can get a balance. And it's not just
Is Dr. Bender pro small markets?
Cory Bender is me. I mean, he shares all of my views.
Okay, so yeah.
He's of all the same opinions that I am.
Yes.
Never forget that.
Small markets, yeah.
So that's why we need you, Tim.
Exactly.
Come back. Come back to me. What game are we talking about?
Chargers, Raiders.
No one cares. Let's move
on. Okay. Kansas City Chiefs at Denver Broncos.
Tim Tebow versus Kyle Orton. Rock and roll. Tebow time at home. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be entertaining for like 2 minutes at the end of the game. The rest of the game is going to be completely unwatchable. But I expect Tebow time, Jesus Christ, coming down from heaven, and that'll be a good time.
All right. Seattle Sea Chickens at the Arizona Cardinals. This is the last one.
I don't have anything on this game. Tavares Jackson is playing quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks. Marshawn Lynch is a running back. And the Arizona Cardinals still have Larry Fitzgerald. And they do not have a quarterback of note. Because Kevin Cobb is irrelevant and he is either hurt or when he's playing he sucks. Mm-hmm. So, there you go.
That's too bad. So we're going through and picking these now?
Let's pick some games, Timmy.
All right.
I'll talk because you're going to pick first.
Yes.
Philadelphia and Washington.
Philadelphia.
I will take the Eagles as well.
Mm-hmm.
Big time.
Yep.
Atlanta and Tampa Bay.
As much as I want to pick my hometown Bucks.
Your hometown Bucks? You're from here. Chicago.
Gotta go with the Falcons.
San Francisco. Oh, by the way, I'm taking the Falcons.
Yeah. Okay.
San Francisco and St. Louis.
Gotta go with the 49ers. I like the 49ers.
I'm gonna take the Niners, 23-3. That's right. I just picked a score.
Wow.
I'm a tool. Minnesota and Chicago. The I don't give a shit bowl.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Chicago. I think the McCown guy, Josh McCown is his name.
Josh McCown, Luke McCown, David McCown,
or whatever. Back up to Jay Cutler. He sucks, but I think they're gonna pull it out.
I'm gonna take the Vikings. I don't know why, but I'm gonna take the Vikings.
Well, nonetheless, we don't give a shit. Tie.
Detroit and Green Bay, the world champion Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers, the league MVP. Blah blah blah. The list goes on and on. As the next dynasty in sports is on the way in Lambeau Field.
It's tempting to pick Detroit in this one actually because with the revolving door of quarterbacks Green Bay should have, but I'm gonna go with the defending champs on this one.
I can't pick against the Packers.
Yeah.
At this point, they are too good. 15-1, and you know what? I don't give a shit what McCarthy says. He's never rested his players. He just doesn't do it. He doesn't rest his players. He never has. I don't think he ever will. I expect to see Aaron Rodgers for at least 3 quarters, unless the game by some miracle gets out of hand. I like the Packers. I think it's going to be close. Vegas thinks the Packers are going to rest their players, as Detroit is favored in this game. The Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. That was a meaningful pause, by the way, not because I forgot to talk.
Building suspense.
It is the game of the week, so let's build a little suspense.
Yes, I am actually. This is very intriguing.
I know, it's a tough game.
Yeah,
tough game to pick.
Manning Romo.
I had the Giants picked earlier this week, and then I switched to the Cowboys, and then I picked back to the Giants for a while, and I still haven't made up my mind.
Yeah, I kind of trust Manning more. I got to go with the Giants on this one.
And I figure when in doubt, pick against Tim, so I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
Okay, thank you.
The New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers.
I'm going to go with Drew Brees on this one and the New Orleans Saints, even if Drew Brees doesn't play for that much. But
agreed. Let's speed this up a little bit. Tennessee and Houston.
Texans on this one.
Same. I'm going to pick the Texans. Baltimore and Cincinnati.
Baltimore.
I'm going to pick the Ravens as well. Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
Pittsburgh.
Jacksonville and Indianapolis.
I'm going to go with Jacksonville on this one.
I'm going to go with Indianapolis. Let's do it. 3-13. Dan Orlovsky, his wife gave birth to triplets, and he will contribute with 3 straight victories. And 3 + 3 = 6, and I don't know what the hell that means. Miami and the Jets.
I'm going to go with the Dolphins.
I'm going to go with the Jets. The Sanchez, coming through one more time in Miami. It's warm down there, and he likes warm weather. He's the little Southern California guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Rock and roll. The Patriots and the Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo? No, I'm just kidding. England.
I'm going to pick the Patriots, and it's not going to be close. Oakland and San Diego.
Oakland.
I'm going to pick the Chargers because there's something about the Raiders I don't like. There's something about the Chargers I don't like. I just don't like this freaking division. This AFC West with Tebow, and the Chargers are average and bleh, horrible. Denver and Kansas City, the game of the century. Tebow and Kyle Orton. Come on now.
I'm going with Kyle Orton. Jesus Christ will not make an appearance.
Oh, come on. Tebow time. It's Tebow time. Come on, man. You can't be hating on Tebow. I'm the biggest Tebow hater on the internet, and I can't hate on Tebow. I've called him a cult leader on my show. I think he's a cult leader, and I think he's bad for America. We need less Jesus freaks, not more, and that guy is not going to hate on Tim Tebow this weekend. I got Tebow time. Denver, let's go, man. Let's go.
I just love nothing more than to see Kyle Orton go in.
So would I. I would love
Go
to
in.
see it. Seriously, I would love to. I would love for Tebow to fall on his face in this game, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
I think it'll happen. Kyle Orton's pulled off late season miracles before.
Arizona and Seattle.
Seattle.
I am going to pick Arizona just for shits and giggles.
Pick against him. All right, well, that was a lovely, vile segment. Let's move on to something more clean. It's Talking Sports with Ryan, or is this the end of the show?
This is the end of the show. Thank you so much to my good friend Tim Kursaningas for being in.
Filling in for Cory Bender.
And, Cory, if you ever come back, there is a chair here next to me waiting for you. It is the BWC
Have a Happy
Network.
New Year.
Happy New Year, God damn it.